Thank you for everyone for coming out. And in 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. stood on the steps in front of the Lincoln Memorial and shouted for freedom to spill from the most racist corners of this nation. From Alabama, where Greg Gunn was murdered after a stop and frisk search in 2019, to Georgia, where Ahmaud Arbery was chased down like a dog and shot by devils in 2020. In 1963, King had a dream where people were judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And 57 years later, I must admit, I have never had this dream. As I've never dreamed of St. Nick squeezing through my chimney or a pot of gold at the end of a shimmering rainbow. I can't imagine what I don't understand in a world where the color of my skin doesn't affect every single moment of my life. It's something so alien I can't conceive it. 57 years later, and we're still marching against the same crimes, the same injustice, the same wounds that were never healed, never set, only left to grow into painful deformities. See, I dream of a world where being black doesn't mean your murderers will get to go home to their wives after being praised for a good day on the job. I dream of a world where being black with a toy gun isn't punishable by death with no right to a jury. I dream of a world where black boys can whistle at whoever they want. I dream of a world where being black in jail might not lead to your suspicious death. See, I still feel as if my dreams are just creations of a very vivid imagination. How many black men, women, and children will I have to watch die before we see real change? How much wealth inequality does there have to be before we acknowledge a problem? How many officers will commit crime against humanity before we realize that a badge does not give a man the right to take another's life? See, I have my dreams, and in them I see George Floyd going home to his daughter. I see Ahmaud Arbery jogging home to see his mom. I see Breonna Taylor waking up to get ready to go save lives. I see Trayvon Martin attending Florida University. I see Emmett Till whistling as if God put music in his lungs. I see black banks and businesses thriving. I see streets of ghettos turning to rivers of wealth and prosperity. I see red lines fading into bright smiles. And I see police turning to social services and homes for the homeless. You see, I can't imagine a world where I'm not judged by the color of my skin, but I can sure as hell see a world where I'm no longer targeted for it. I can imagine a world where I don't have to wake up to Breonna Taylor's murderers still out free and armed by the city. A world where men like Derek Chauvin are never allowed to carry a badge in the first place. A world where Burlington holds their officers accountable. When one black man, woman, or child is assaulted or killed, we as black people all feel the blow because as it stands, we're judged by the color of our skin, not the content of our character. See, Mr. King thought we were close, but it's time to realize how far we are. America refuses to acknowledge her sins and claim to stand as the land of the free. But America is the land of the delusional oppressed. See, I have my dreams. And in them, I hear the voice of Mr. King, and I hear him tell me of the importance of faith. I know the amount of faith he possessed, the faith that carried him through hell as he protested peacefully. I don't have the heart to tell him I can never have faith in the same system that put a bullet in his head. I can't have faith in the system that condoned the Algiers motel murders, and I sure as hell will never trust a system that elected the man who called for the execution of 5 innocent black boys. The same president who is now antagonizing peaceful protesters and killing innocent Americans. I will never trust a system that wrote me in as 3/5 a man, nor will I have faith in a country that sees slavery as an acceptable form of punishment. How can I trust a system where both sides benefit from the oppression of my people? A system made of wolves and foxes as I go to cast my vote. One calling for military action against those calling for justice, and another determining whether or not I ain't black. The thing about dreaming is, you always have to wake up and decide whether or not you're going to do everything in your power to make your dreams a reality. A weed filled with hatred and greed is no longer a necessary evil, but an intolerable one. And let me say this: Black Lives Matter. Thank you.